You've probably heard the popular saying, once taught, twice learned, to describe the idea that when we teach other people, we reinforce our own learning. But what you might not know is that this idea is not only supported by neuroscience, it's also been used and advocated for by some of history's most intelligent and gifted minds. When we teach other people information, we gain a great deal of benefits. For one, when we decide that we will teach a subject that we are currently learning, we are immediately motivated to improve our own understanding, both to be able to serve another person and, of course, to avoid embarrassing ourselves in the process. But far beyond that, teaching a subject to someone who knows less than us presents us with a unique set of challenges and opportunities for us as learners. Because other people have different learning styles and curiosities and levels of understanding than we do, teaching them requires us to take a more thorough and comprehensive approach in our own learning. In a sense, we are forced to think of new and alternative ways to understand a subject and of simpler, more creative ways to transmit that understanding to another human being. This process of attempting to simplify a subject well enough to explain it results in a much deeper understanding for us. Furthermore, when we teach other people, we are often presented with unique questions that are far outside our own scope of focus, but are nonetheless crucial and important to our own understanding. In essence, you can think of teaching sort of like having other people check your work. As you share the information that you've acquired, you effectively recruit other people to look for holes in your knowledge and alert you to the areas that you should go back and study further. Best of all, they do this in a much more friendly way than a teacher grading your exam, and they do it completely for free. But as I found out, this technique has been used by many other great teachers before I was even born, and you don't have to get in front of a camera to use it. In fact, one of the most notable supporters of this strategy was Nobel Prize-winning theoretical physicist Richard Feynman, who throughout his career taught at Cornell, Caltech, and even advocated for alternative teaching methods at the California State Curriculum Commission and the National Science Teachers Association. To this day, Feynman is known for his 4-step model of learning through teaching, which goes like this. Pick a topic you want to understand and start studying it. Write down everything that you know about the topic on a notebook page, using illustrations wherever possible to simplify the understanding and portrayal of the subject. Now add to that page every time you learn something new about it. 2, pretend to teach your topic to a classroom, even if you're not actually going to do it. Make sure that you're able to explain the topic in simple terms. 3, go back to the books when you get stuck. The gaps in your knowledge should be obvious by attempting to teach it. Revisit the problem areas until you explain the topic fully. And 4, simplify and use analogies. Repeat the process while simplifying your language and connecting facts with analogies and graphics to help you strengthen your understanding. If you consider the fact that Richard Feynman was a Nobel Prize-winning thought leader in one of the most complex subjects known to man, astrophysics, it is pretty impressive that this was the process that he used to learn. It's also quite interesting that he, like Einstein, emphasized the importance of simplifying knowledge well enough to actually be able to explain it to others. So I'd like to encourage you to do one thing. Teach others what you've learned. One of the best things that you can do to reinforce everything that you've learned here about memory and neuroscience is to get out there and teach it to others. Tell your kids, tell your friends, tell your wife. Not only will you be doing them a great service, but you'll also benefit a great deal from it for all of the reasons that we've already talked about.